Hey guys, Josh Gundam here, and this video is for my friend Joshua Cerna, Neo Rollover, Rakesh, and anybody else who's interested in dyeing plastics and bleaching them and all that other stuff. So Joshua Cerna just found a way to use a clean strip, not this, but same brand, aircraft paint remover to bleach MSA plastic. Well, I thought, usually this main ingredient in this stuff is acetone, which is a little bit, acetone is not known to be toxic versus a lot of the things it's in. So I thought, well, instead of dropping 20 bucks into a quart of the stuff, I would try my acetone, which is dirt cheap. And so I had to go see Ready Player One today in 3D. Totally worth watching. Gundam RX-78 gets 2 minutes of screen time. Yeah! But I digress. So I grabbed some junk parts and I threw them into my little container, which was clear at the time. And something pretty cool started happening. This head right here had been dyed a tan color using a watered down version of a green, a peacock green, and it was an absolute failure for what I was going for. Well, just having it in there, the color started to come off, and that's what changed the color of my acetone. Well, the thing is back to its original color, so that's really cool. So apparently, if you dye something and it comes out a color you didn't like, you can undo it. However, there were 3 different parts I did this with. I wanted to see if it would bleach the plastic. So this was, Wing Gundam's blue, and now it's a, baby blue. Almost. So it did bleach it, albeit rubbing it didn't, I had like a Q-tip with acetone on it, it wasn't making it change at all. However, in case you haven't figured this out already, this is the Sazabi leg. The parts swelled enormously. So there's a color difference. Hopefully my camera, you can see it. If you can't, this is a little bit darker than this, so it did lighten the color of the plastics, especially on this blue one. However, it pretty much doubled them in size. I mean, this is supposed to be an MSIA scale head. I'll just put it over here by this Alex head. And Alex head doesn't have the biggest head, but the thing doubled in size. Look at that. It feels really soft and rubbery. It feels completely like rubber. You'd think the MSA were made out of rubber now. So all the dye is off. Took off some of the paint. But it's double the size it used to be. I soaked it for 3 or 4 hours. That's it. That's still a long time, but in some ways it's not. So, yeah. Apparently, if you want to lighten or undye a part, you can soak it in acetone, but if left in there for too long, it will soak up like a balloon. I mean, they're just rubbery. Rubber. It's kind of interesting because parts that were glued will just kind of come apart. You're like, oh, cool, that comes off? I had no idea. But, at what cost? So, this is an interesting development along the way. Will acetone lighten your MSA plastic? Yes. Yes, it will. But soaking it will make it turn into rubber. The question is, what happens after a couple days? Will it return back to its color? Will it shrink? Don't know. So I'll keep documenting and keep experimenting. But hey, at least I know how to get the dye off. I mean, I don't think the thing started to grow into a balloon right away. So the dye started coming off immediately after I put it in there. So, I mean, I've had things where I dyed it and it's like, oh, why did it come out that color? That's not the color I was going for. It should have done this. Something must have tainted the dye, or, you know, you had your fingers crossed, and you're like, please turn green, please turn green, please. Oh. That's what I've been going for, but it turned tan instead. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Got any thoughts on this? Leave me a comment down below. Okay, so, continuing to document. It's the next morning. I probably put these in clean strip acetone yesterday around noon. It's about 10 now. So almost 24 hours, except that they haven't been out for 24 hours. They've probably been out for 12 hours, is my guess. They've been out of the acetone for 12 hours. They were in there for like 4 or 5. They've almost shrunk down back to their normal size, which doesn't exactly surprise me, because, you know, this acetone says dry fast, so it evaporates. I think it's literally evaporating out of the parts. The head that was enormous is just about normal size. It's still a little squishy. It's still a little softer, a little rubbery at the top. I imagine that whatever liquid is in there is going to continue to evaporate out, or whatever, and it's going to return to its original size. That's my theory. The dye that I put on this guy is still not returned. It's still in there. I don't see a real color difference between these two, though. Looks like it's gone back to the color that it was. Might be a shade lighter. This is about the color that it was before. So, in terms of bleaching, acetone alone isn't going to do it. In terms of removing dye, looks like it. If you want to get a part to come apart, this might be a good way to do it, actually, because there were several pieces on the Wing Gundam arm that I didn't even know were removable, and would have been a real pain to do. I mean, sometimes the glue is old and it just, bink, it comes off, even on its own. And other times, oh my goodness, if you want it off, it's not coming off. So that's the update. I'll continue to keep an eye on it, keep filming, you know, progress. Okay, so it's been 2 days since I did the soak in acetone. Acetone's still dark colored. The dye that came off this guy, his color, still his original plastic color. It might be just a little bit slightly different shade than it used to be. Anyways, big deal. The parts went back to the size that they were. So, you are able to undye a part by soaking in acetone. It will blow up like a balloon, and then over the next few days it'll shrink back down. Another thing I've noticed is that the plastic's softer, which may improve, you know, as more time goes by and the acetone, in theory, evaporates out of the plastic. But it's back to the same size as the piece that wasn't done that way. It's back to the same color, just it's more malleable. And that's for better or for worse, I'm not sure. I'll just keep waiting and seeing over the next few days whether it hardens up. Guess I better take a Sharpie and mark which one it is so I don't lose track. I'll keep you guys posted.